Baby, it was uncool to love me. Then leave me standing here now without a goodbye. And maybe I am the fool you call me. 'Cause I'll be here standing waiting to hear you say to me, I'm ready
You know I'm ready
to love you
to love
forever. Hey,
forever.
love now. Come
Come
and love
love
me
me
forevermore.
forevermore.
'Cause I'm ready
You know I'm ready
to love you
to love
forever. Hey,
forever.
love now. Come
Come
and love
love
me
me
forevermore.
forevermore.
Oh,
Oh,
and once again, I'll
babe,
be right here.
babe,
Waiting
babe. No, we got a show to do.
to share?
No.
Okay.
See, you don't like it when it happens to you, huh?
You know, this is my first time that's happened, so I don't mind it.
Whatever.
Yo, what's going on, you guys? This your boy Marquise.
And this is your one and your favorite Taylor.
And welcome back to the episode You Stuck With Me.
You stuck. You stuck with me.
Beautiful, how you feeling?
Sleepy.
Really? Okay.
But I feel high off life.
I'll take that.
How are you?
I'm good. Feeling good, feeling great.
And I'm hungry.
I'm hungry too. We're going to eat after this.
Get them last two Whoppers.
Oh, wow. Wow.
That's a big bag stuff right there.
That's big bag.
Them last two Whoppers.
That'd be a funny video somebody make it on YouTube if it ain't out there already.
Man, I should go patent that right now.
But we back with the podcast, you guys. So in this episode, we're talking about how two individuals who are very popular have the same opinion or the same want, but are getting different reactions. We're talking about David Banner saying that he's ready to be married, and so is Vivica A. Fox. She said the same thing, but they are getting two different reactions to what
It's
they're
a double
saying.
standard going on here.
Yeah. So to give context to what we're talking about, so Vivica A. Fox, she's, I don't want to say her age, but she's older, and so is David Banner, and they both said that they're ready for marriage, not to each other, but they're just ready for marriage in general. Now, when Vivica A. Fox said it, it was all this backlash saying that, oh, she's too old to find love, this and that, third. She had all this time and she never did. Where David Banner, people were actually in support of it, and that's where the double standard comes in.
Well, let's backtrack a little bit. They both decided to focus on their career instead of investing in like starting a family and stuff like that, which is admirable, right?
I mean, people do it every day.
People do it every day. And what I give the both of them kudos to is they didn't like string anybody along like they have like baby mamas, baby daddies out here, having somebody wait on the wayside, like, at least that we don't know of,
Right.
waiting on the wayside until they decide, oh, I'm ready for this, I'm ready for that, I'm ready to get married, I'm ready to have kids. And so it seemed like with David Banner's side, everybody's like, oh, good, good job of, focusing on your career, making sure that you was in a mindset to have that, like, wish you the best of luck, get positive feedback. But when Vivica said the same thing, like she's ready to have a serious relationship, be married and all that stuff, they be like, she too old, or don't know man want no old woman now, and this, that, and the third. And I didn't like that.
I didn't like that either, and I'm gonna be honest with you. I feel like you're never too late to find your person.
Yeah, you're never too late to find your person. And granted, they're in that age where it's considered difficult to have kids. Well, at least for Vivica. For men, you don't have no.
But I mean, that's not, even with that, what that people believe, that's not necessarily true, because honestly, Vivica is just like David Banner, in the limelight, has some money. We've seen other ladies who are in the limelight as well still be able to have kids at a later, or what's considered a geriatric stage.
I hate that word.
I do too, because it's so. I feel like it's so
No,
disrespectful.
I hate it because I'm in my early 30s and I'm starting to hear that. Like, I had to tell my OB, like, sis, calm that down. Calm that down.
Uh,
No.
and
Ain't nothing geriatric about her.
I get because doctors, they go through, years of medical training, studying all this stuff. But sometimes you gotta remind the doctors who your guide is.
Oh,
I went there, yeah.
oh. Say it one time for the people in the back.
Sometimes you gotta tell your doctors, you gotta remind them who your guide is.
Oh! Makes me want to get up and dance, 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 dance. Okay. That was my praise moment. Go
Okay,
ahead.
so yeah, but to a little bit of your point, what you said was true that Vivica A. Fox got backlash from it, and David Banner didn't get as much. But there is some flip side to it, and what I mean by flip side to it is it was some people who actually came out in support of Vivica, and it was some people who were against David Banner. All of a sudden, at 50, being ready to settle down. But I give both of them this, like, not only did they not string anybody along, but I feel like
That we know of.
that we know of, but I feel like that they waited till they felt like they were uh the best version of themselves, so they were trying not to bring any previous drama, and that they felt like they were really ready, even if David Banner's 50, Vivica's 60, because a lot of that goes on even with younger people, even people our age, who they don't want to get, or they get married and they don't fully have what they need to be ready to be married.
And I'm glad you brought that up because I want to talk about us for a little bit, right? I
Mm-hmm.
mean, besides me joking, playing the jokes that I'm pregnant in real life, because I do that a lot. I'm learning to stop that now. But it's like I noticed ever since we got married, it's been like this inadvertent pressure. Like, okay, you got your husband, so when are the kids coming? And then I've been hearing more of, oh, you don't want to wait till you're too old to do this because it becomes harder from a biological standpoint. And then that's when I hear the whole geriatric and stuff like that. That's a lot of pressure, and I feel like a thing that's being overlooked with that can honestly be disrespectful to that couple because you don't know what they're going through.
I've heard
You
that.
know, you don't know, they might have trouble conceiving, or they found like they can't conceive, and
Or worse, they actually did conceive,
and they
but
lost that child.
yes, I've heard
It's
that before
hard.
too.
It's hard. So I feel like us as a people, we need to be more cognizant when we say things like that. Even though we may mean well, like, okay, you know, I would love to see you as a mommy or a daddy or whatever the case may be. But that's like kind of like a gray area that you got to be
The way
cognizant of.
the way that you intend your intent behind what you say is not always received the same way.
That's I like that. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
But my take on the David Banner and Vivica situation, my thing about it is, child, you've been giving me these topics to discuss, and it's been wilding me up inside.
Okay, well, let me take the baton from you for
No,
real
I got
quick.
it. I
You
got it.
got
I
it?
just had to take a sip real quick.
Okay.
My thing about it was the comments that was getting towards Vivica, like, "Oh, you too old. Don't no man want an old woman who got this going on, got breast sagging, overweight, whatever the case may be. If you can't bear him no kid, he don't want you and stuff like that, right?" Which may be true because there might be some men out there might think that, right? But how come I'm not seeing the comments with David Banner? Who's to say that women want an older man who just feel like, I mean, not saying David Banner is that type of guy that was running around and stuff like that, sowing his wild oats, as they say. But who's to say that women want an older man who are already unsettled down? They feel like they can't move around and chase these young women like they used to, or they can't get it up,
I mean,
stuff like that. I mean, you gotta
it's double standard, like you said. It's
it's
double
a double
standard on
standard.
both sides.
And there's women that feel like that. There's women out there that feel like that. They don't want to have a man who went out there, did, slept with every woman and stuff like that, and you've been sitting in the background waiting for him to, come to his senses or calm down. Now he don't used up all his good years, all his good, energy and now I'm stuck with the slowed down, broken up pieces. Now I just got to take what I can get, basically, and for lack of better words, the scraps.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, and it's it's unfortunate for a lot of people because some people do go through that. They've been waiting. I've seen, ladies who waited, 10, 12, 15, 19
Yeah,
plus.
for a man to do his thing and be like, okay, he love me, he gonna do this and stuff like that. He's still out here doing X, Y, and Z. Now,
I can't say.
now he tired. He basically, again, for lack of better words, he broke down. Now I gotta be stuck with the broke down version where he want to sit at home now and watch TV. He don't want to go out nowhere. Be like, no, we okay at home. And then, God forbid, I want him to make love to me. He can't even
Hmm.
consistently keep it going.
And you know what? I can't say that. I can't say that happens a lot to men either. The only one I can honestly think of that comes to mind would be Stedman with Oprah because Stedman is wanting to marry Oprah for the longest, and she doesn't want to marry him, but she loves being with him. So I mean, that's the only one I can think of.
Well, I feel like in situations like that, I feel like a conversation has to be has to have happen, because I feel like it's unfair that, I'm not saying this is what's happened with Stedman and Oprah or whatever like that. We don't know what's going on in their lives or whatever like that. But I feel like this: if you are really involved and invested in a person in a what you believe is a serious relationship with a partner, right?
Hmm.
And you're not in that point of time in your life that you can make the commitment and the time to build that relationship and go forward and want to get married or have a committed relationship or whatever the next step is for you, right? I feel like you should at least tell that person so they don't have to be on the and give them the option if they want to be on the wayside waiting for you.
Hmm.
You know, be
But
that support system instead of waiting till like we damn near I'm sorry, doggone near 50, 60 years old, and we on slow down in our everyday activities, and our bodies are slowing down, our metabolism ain't the same. Now we got all these different health problems or issues or concerns and stuff like that where we can't do our everyday activities.
so let me ask you this as a woman. Do you think that Vivica made the right choices in her career, or made the right choices as a person, as opposed to, or not as opposed to, but as well as David Banner making, with his career and his choices? Do you agree with what they're doing or how they feel? More so, how they feel.
I mean, I'll never say anybody they're wrong, that they done wrong or right, and how they feel. I mean, if she truly if she really feels like that she's ready for that point of her life, I support it.
I
And
mean,
same with as David Banner.
and I agree with you. I feel like just because they're 50 and 60, that doesn't mean that it's too late for them to find their person. Because a lot of people have found their person early. Some people have found their person late.
Or some people came across their person and it wasn't the right time for them to be together like that.
That's a good point right there.
I mean, that's what happened with us at the time in high school. We crossed paths, but it wasn't. Excuse me. It wasn't until like after we both had experiences and being away at college, and going through having our own space and know how to maneuver as an adult. I mean, honestly, I tell you that, and you can back me up on this. Honestly, I've said it numerous times that we didn't get together in high school because it wasn't the perfect time for that. And I credit the time that I did go away to school
And likewise.
to learn life experiences and how to handle adult like stuff, like how to balance a checkbook, how to schedule time between classes and work, because I was working and going to school at the time, and just learning those life skills so I can be at least a somewhat decent girlfriend for you, and then later on mature to being having those qualities as a wife.
I agree with that. And it's the same with me. I think when you first told me that early on in our relationship, I was like, you know what? At first I was being funny with it, but when I actually sat down and thought about it, that was very insightful. Very insightful because you have to prepare yourself for the relationship that you want and the person that you choose. And I think that going back to David Banner and Vivica A. Fox, they may have taken longer than what society deems as normal. But I look at it like this: whether you take the long way, you take the short way, you still gonna end up at the destination. So what difference does it make?
But the problem I have is it's okay. It's being positively looked at that David Banner took the non-traditional way
I
of
agree.
dating, as opposed to Viv, because she been gone caught all kinds of delusional, crazy,
Mm-hmm.
and being put down, and basically individuals out there putting down her dreams or her aspirations to to settle down with somebody. Like, how dare you?
I mean, it's you can have your opinion, but let's be honest. Do you really think that David Banner and Vivica A. Fox really care about what other people say about
I
their
know, but
relationship
I
status?
know they don't, but it's just for the sake of the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and then yeah, we do got to put in perspective that they are celebrities and that their different moves and stuff are subjected to the public eye
Yeah. But we also gotta remember this: the same decisions that they make, people out here make that same decision every day.
all the time,
They're just not vilified because they're not in the
all
public
the
eye.
time, all the time. I
Mm.
agree.
So I mean, and it goes back to what I said earlier. I think that it's good for them. I think that they're gonna find their person. I think honestly, if you want to be truthful, I think it may be slightly easier for them to find their person just because they are in the public eye and people are looking.
I disagree with that. It may not be easier.
You don't think so?
No.
I think they have a bad. I don't know. Maybe I'm being a little bit optimistic.
I mean, I appreciate your optimism, but no, I feel like they might have a little bit more obstacles to go through because they are a celebrity. So you got to use so they got to use their discernment, like who's really there for them as David Banner, the person, or as the man, or Vivica A. Fox as the woman, as opposed to the
Actresses or
actress,
the rapper or the
yeah, or the music or
yeah
the whatever.
yeah. I think what you're saying is true, and not only that, but it's a bigger obstacle than the norm.
Yeah, it's a little bit more unique than an average person. You know what? It reminds me of Mary J. Blige. She
I
has
knew
this
you were gonna go there
song.
because I thought about it.
She has this song called "Just Mary,"
Mm-hmm.
right? And it has the what is it? Benny and the Jet sample. So Elton John is actually on that.
Mm-hmm.
And there's this part in the song where she's like, it's hard for her, where she describes how it's hard for her to find a man because she has to decipher, is it really are they really for her,
Or is it the
or
money that they
they
see?
make money that they seek. And then she like, because she's just married,
Mm-hmm.
and that reminds me of that, and that's true. Even in everyday people, I mean in everyday life, with just, I don't want to
Dealing
say,
with the average woman and average
yeah,
man.
dealing with the average woman, the average man, we still gotta you gotta decipher, okay, I got a lucrative job, or I've got some aspirations that might take me farther in my career, whatever, like that. And then all of a sudden you have this person here, like they see an opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? They have an opportunity to like, oh, let me get to them because they're gonna make it to the WNBA or NBA, or they're gonna do this, or they can take care of me.
Yeah,
You still gotta
you gotta use discernment in any
yeah, you still
relationship,
gotta use
whether it's
the
public or
discernment.
private.
Yeah. And then it's messed up because, again, here I go looking at the other side. It's messed up because you could come across somebody who's not like that, but you so used to
What you've been
the
used to.
BS that you encountered, you can't decipher it. Another example, me. I was so used to well, I was so used to relationships that didn't help me, validate my feelings, or help me, well, help that didn't support me in my growth as a woman, and also in my mental health.
Mm-hmm.
It was always, well, if you feel like you got to go to therapy or something, you're just a little crazy, or it really wasn't.
Okay, I support you. What do you need?
Yeah, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. It was like, I'll bring it up, and it was no conversation. Like, I would have to decipher like, does he really care or doesn't care? It just be glossed up like, oh, I'm about let's go get something to eat type of deal.
Mm-hmm.
As opposed to in our relationship, we have open communication. You are supportive in the things that I want to do, my dreams and aspirations. Or if I say that I want to do this to better my mental health, you're all for it. There's no question,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And it took me time to get used to that because
Understand.
for a while I'm like, okay,
This is different.
this is different, and how long is it gonna take him to leave me? Because it's like this is too good to be true.
It's like you don't recognize you have a diamond in the rough until somebody else tells you, and by that time it's too late. But in this case, like you just said, you like, okay, what's the catch? When is the other shoe gonna drop?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I say that to say that when just like David Banner and Vivica, whoever they decide to date, they're gonna have to go through that discernment and dissecting. Just like both of us said, are they here for me? Or are they here for David Banner, the artist, David Banner, the um, writer, or Vivica A. Fox, the actress? Are they here for that or the money? So,
And then also too, let's be honest, we've been hearing that the dating pool is trash.
and not only is it trash, but imagine what it's like trying to date at 50 and 60. Because if dating at between 30 and 35, from what I've heard, like you said, it's trash,
It's trash.
and
And then
it doesn't get any easier.
yeah, it doesn't get any easier. And then so basically you're starting in a age bracket where mentally, well assume mentally you in a different space, right? You basically already established. Now you just focused on how to live out the rest of your years in a sense.
And another thing is because the older we get, for the most of us, the more we tend to be stuck in our ways
Right.
and
So
not
now you
open
got
to
to deal with,
change.
it depends what age bracket you want to date in. If you want to date in their case, date in their age bracket, you got to deal with those who are set in their ways, who probably don't really want the time that
They don't want to put in the
I
time.
don't know why I'm tongue tied today right now.
Have some more water.
It's not that. I don't know.
Okay.
It could be because I'm sleepy too. But they set in their ways. They don't have the patience. That's the word I was looking for. Patience to take time to learn somebody name, birthday, favorite color, and all that. Or if you want to take it back to the old school, I heard back in the day in old school, you had to find out that person's social security number and their driver's license, and you had to make sure that they didn't have like no records, or what their background is, like if they was crazy, psychotic, so stuff like that.
So basically, what you're saying is that they don't they don't want to have to, somebody who doesn't want to have to like go through that over again. They don't want to have to vet somebody. But no matter
I
what
mean,
age,
you spend it, you still gotta have to
yeah,
vet somebody.
no matter what age, and it's not going to change. It's just going to be continuous. And we know people who are around our age who are like, I don't feel like teaching nobody anything. I don't feel like trying to learn something. Well, if you want your relationship to last and you want it to grow, you're going to have to teach your significant other sometime something every now and then, just
Well,
like they're going to teach you.
not only that, but then you gotta evaluate what are you willing to do,
Mm-hmm.
because everybody has, I say, make or break list or make or break characteristics. Like, I can do this, but this is the deal breaker for me. I just won't budge on that, and which is fine. People have the right to have that,
Yes,
but you gotta also understand too. You filtering out, you narrow down your choices here. So
but you
that's something to consider.
but also, and this usually would go to women in society, but I'm going to make this point for men and women. You can't be delusional with what you want,
What do you mean by delusional?
making these crazy expectations that you're not even making. So when you're looking for your person, like I said, man and woman, no matter what age, you got to make sure that the things that you're asking for, that you can deliver yourself.
Mm, I wouldn't say. Well, I feel like outrageous, or what was the word you used
Delusional.
besides delusional?
Um,
Describe the list, the expectations.
uh, Basically delusional, outrageous, Um,
Well, my point was, I feel like that narrative, that opinion, that is subjective because not everybody's definition of like delusional or out of their league in a sense is different. So like for me,
I think
my
you meant to say the same.
the same. I'm sorry. Yes, the same. That's why I need to go take a nap. It's the same because, for example, I can have a list like I want my future partner has to be tall and has to have a relationship with the Lord,
That's not too much to ask.
or at least have, or at least if he has like a blue collar job, he at least has to have the initiative or the drive to move up.
Okay.
Now you said that's not too much to ask,
Well,
but to
everything you just said is not too much to ask.
somebody else that might be because they might see it as okay, not everybody can be tall, so that's impossible.
Mm-hmm.
Or have a relationship with the Lord. Everybody has a different relationship, or their spiritual journey are different, so
Mm-hmm.
that's impossible. Or have the initiative. Who are you to dictate what is a blue collar job, or who are you to tell me that I need to do better?
But here's also a thing. You can have your wants, but more times than not, what you say you want is not what you actually gonna get.
Mm,
And I'm gonna give you a prime example because everybody talks about this. And we just met this beautiful lady, um, Sierra.
mm,
Everybody says how she dated Future, she dated 50, she dated Bow Wow, but she ended up with Russell Wilson.
mm,
Now Russell Wilson from the outside in, all four of these men are totally different. But what she finds in him is the whatever the reasons are, this is why she married him. That's why she's not with the other three gentlemen that I just mentioned.
mm.
So I say that to say you think you know what you want, but sometimes it's not what you want, but you end up finding what you need.
Well, that also attests to what I was saying before. Sometimes you got to sit back and evaluate yourself,
Mm-hmm.
like do some self discovery. Like, what is it that you really feel like that you need? You got to separate your wants and your needs.
But the thing about it is, a lot of people have a issue with being honest with themselves, and I
Is
think
it that they have an issue with being honest with themselves, or they don't know how to be honest with themselves?
it could be a mixture of both.
Mm.
It could definitely be a mixture of both because if you don't know how to be honest with yourself, you really got to sit down. And if you got to make a list and see what you can live with, what you can live without, what you like and what you don't like. And then you got to really start. But first of all, you got to also look at what can I do to be better? What things did I do wrong in my previous relationship?
Mm-hmm.
That's a good starting point right there. And if you can honestly answer those questions and be content with what you've learned and you can figure out a way how you can adjust those things, you already started a good foundation for how you can present yourself when you go out into the dating market. That's what I think.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that to an extent. But then also, I feel like the aspect that's being overlooked in the day market is rejection.
Yeah,
You
uh,
you
you're gonna have
gotta know that you are subjected to rejection. You're not gonna be everybody's cup of tea, and that's fine. You start to realize that that person who you thought you wanted may not be your cup of tea, and I think that's one thing that with David Banner and our shouts to our soror Vivica Fox, because we didn't mention that was our soror, but
Oh yeah, we gotta throw that in there.
she is our soror. That rejection might look different for them
Mm-hmm.
because of their occupation and how visible they are in the public eye.
Yeah, because you might want to have some people. Some people are private and they don't want to be associated with a
Yeah.
celebrity, which some people might find very crazy. But that's just the truth of the matter. Sometimes the celebrities want to keep their own relationships private, which I understand because the more private your relationship, the less people that are in your business.
And then also too, in the case of David Vanner, he said he's ready to have kids. Okay, depending which date pool you in, you're gonna have women that already have children and probably in the mindset they don't want no more kids.
But then again, that's something that he might want because if a woman already has kids, that's fine with him because at his age and the ladies that he may date, you gotta accept the fact that people already have children. So even
And some of them might be grown
yeah,
children.
yeah.
So yeah.
So that's you got to honestly assess yourself and know what you're looking at, or know what you want and know what you're looking at, and find your niche, find what you feel that fits you, but knowing that because you already done the internal work, excuse me, because you've already done the internal work, you know that you're not going to take any crap either.
Yeah. I just think just for them it might be a little bit more difficult because of
Of
their
who they are.
celebrity. Yeah. But I'm tired of this selective outrage for stuff.
Yeah,
Y'all not finna keep coming for my soror.
yeah, I'm not gonna keep coming for David Banner either.
Like, y'all need to stop that. Stop it now.
But all in all, we close with saying this, that we hope that David Banner and Vivica A. Fox, Sora Vivica A. Fox, find their person, have a family, get everything that they want.
Yeah, I'm here for them, cause this is all remind me of that NDRE song. Cause I'm ready for love.
That's another way of saying it.
Yeah, but I don't know. I'm just a big romantic sap. I always love to hear a good love story, and I'm just a hopeless romantic. I believe love is out there for everybody.
Yeah. So on that note, babe, you want to tell the people where they can find us?
You can find us on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, and if you want to reach out to us, you can find us on Instagram and Facebook. Babe, you want to give them the handles?
You guys can send emails if you have questions. That would be, are you stuck? You can email us. We can read it on the show for you at youstuckwithme@gmail.com. That is USTUCKWITME@gmail.com. Or you can send it to our Instagram page. So our Instagram page is youstuckwithme_podcast. USTUCKWITME_podcast. If I said that too fast, sorry. USTUCKWITME_podcast. You can find us on Facebook. Just type in the podcast name. Go ahead and join. We're going to have pictures up there, little videos, all that good stuff for y'all to just enjoy the content. If you guys want to follow us or follow me specifically, you can go to mine_1 on Instagram and the app formerly known as X. That is mine_1 and 1NE_1.
You sleep because you said the app formerly known as X. It's called X now, formerly known as Twitter.
Dang, sleepiness is starting to get to me.
Mm-hmm. And if you want to follow me, I am on Instagram and the app formerly known as Twitter under Queen Points. That's PO_NTZ. Again, that's Queen Points, PO_NTZ. And if you want some more behind the scenes foolishness, ridiculous shenanigans, tomfoolery, and malarkey, because we can't forget about the malarkey, and about my pre-recorded yawns and how I be getting on Steve and Marquise nerves with my singing and random whatever I be doing. You can follow me on TikTok. That's Queen Points 22. Again, that's Queen Points 22.
And on that note, we're done.
It's a wrap. This is your one and only your favorite Taylor.
And this is your boy Marquise. Make sure you rate, review, subscribe if you're on Apple. And remember, you stuck with us.
And remember to like and share.
Peace out, y'all.
And come back.
You stuck with us, y'all.
You stuck.
Peace.
You stuck with us. Now we got to go take a nap now.
Yeah, we got to eat too.